I don't know anything about coding, but with ChatGPT, I can now do anything. So I made ChatGPT write a YouTube channel that will make videos and post them without me even touching it. So here's where we start with it. And I just got ChatGPT to write this. And this isn't anything. This is just getting it to run every day at midnight. And this is the program that it runs, the main. So let's look at that. And let's go through it. So we start off by we have this list of countries and this list of names. So that's who we're going to make the videos about. And we just take some. We would remove it normally, but I commented that out so we could look at it. And so it just gets a list of names. And then it removes a whole bunch of stuff from other folders. I don't know how to do this, but I got ChatGPT to do it and then just copy and pasted it a bunch. And so this is where the meat is. So you see what we're going to do is we're going to take everything in this list of names that we create and we're going to make a search term about it. And we're going to save it as a text file. We do a lot of saving as text files here to transfer information back and forth. I think there's better ways to do it. You can let me know down below, but this is how ChatGPT told us to do it. So this is where the meat of it comes in. So we're going to get data from the Wikipedia. We're going to make a speech. We're going to read it, turn it into an audio file. And we're going to take all the pictures we get from Wikipedia, turn them into JPEGs so that we can resize them so they'll be for the proper vertical orientation that we want. We're going to use the pictures to make a video. We're going to add the audio to the video. We're going to change the length of the video just if we need to. And we're going to change the length of the video again. This is not an efficient process because, again, I don't really know how to code. We just got ChatGPT to basically write every one of these programs. Because unfortunately, at least as far as I can tell, it's not good enough to do all this at once. So it still takes a human intervention, but alone as a human, I couldn't do any of this. But with ChatGPT, I did it. So let's go through every one of these. First off, we're going to run this to see how it works for a second. So you see what it did there. It took 3 of the countries. It took 5 of the names. Some of them, like this one, won't have a Wikipedia page probably, but that's okay. It'll just kind of skip through those. And let's see what it's printing out. So it went to Chuck Schumer's Wikipedia page and got his summary. And it's going to get the images. And let's go look at some of these other ones now. We just needed to get those names there. So now let's look at the from Wikipedia. So this is getting all of the data from Wikipedia. You see it goes to the search term folder, gets the text file that has the search term in it. And it just does all this stuff. And again, I don't know how to do this. Like, ChatGPT just did all of this. It's getting the pictures from the Wikipedia article. It's getting the summary of the Wikipedia article. And it's saving all of the pictures into this folder right here. As you see, it already started doing it. And then also, I just asked it to say, make sure it gets the top picture and saves that as the first one. That way, that'll be the first picture of the video and it won't be a picture of some random person like it was at the beginning. So it's getting the pictures, saving them in in that folder, and it's getting the summary and saving that as a text file. So then what's the next thing it did? The next thing it did was make speech. And again, I don't know how to do this. It just gets the text file and makes a speech with it. And saves, I didn't even change this name. It still just saves it as Hello MP3 because that's what ChatGPT made it. And I think that's right here. That's just what we use. Can we listen to that for a second?
Charles Ellis Schumer is an American
You
politician
see, that's
serving
what it
as the
did. It
senior
took the
United
summary
States Senator
and
from.
it made that audio file with it. So let's see. Let's go back to the main. And next thing it does is it converts the JPEGs. Do we even need to look at that? I mean, I don't even know if that's necessary. I just had ChatGPT make a program that converts all the pictures to JPEGs. And then I had to resize them to make them the proper video, make them the proper thing. And it ended up that I had to add black bars. Like, that took some going back and forth a little bit. That's another thing that happens with ChatGPT, is that it might not get it exactly right at the beginning. But if you go back and forth with it and you, like, I think I had to realize myself that I had to add black bars. And so that's what I asked it to do, is add black bars to make it the proper size. And so it ended up doing it. And so then now that it's got them all the right size, it makes the video with it. And again, I don't know how to do any of this. It just made it. I asked it to make the video. And I asked it to make it the right size, which is the right size for like a TikTok or a YouTube short. And also specifically, it makes the duration of the video the same length as the audio file. So when it makes the audio file, it saves the length of that in a text file. And then here we open the text file, length.txt, and we end up making the video that long. So then it just takes the number of pictures and like divides that and makes them all go up for the same amount of time. So now we have the video. Now we add the audio to the video. And that was pretty straightforward. We just asked, add this audio, add the MP3 to the MP4, and then we got it going. And then there's all these change length things. So that's just to make it, because like you can't have it like if it sometimes it's like a little longer, sometimes it ends up being 1:10, but a YouTube short's got to be under a minute. So there's things throughout all of this where we've got to cut it to be under a minute. So let's see what those do. So this is the change length one. So this is just changing, this is like getting the number. This is just getting the number of what we have to do. This doesn't actually change the length of the video itself. This is just changing the text file. So then when we actually go over to speed up the video, one, because the other ones, some of the other TikToks, we have to speed them up twice. So this is the second time you do it. And yeah, it just speeds them down to under a minute just to make sure. I just had ChatGPT write that. I think what actually happened is I had ChatGPT write this one, and then I just edited a little bit to have it do that one. But that basically does everything for the search terms. So after we do that, this runs through all of them. We go on to, right, well, so this, what is it? Print files moved successfully, but we haven't even moved the files yet. At some point, we moved the files over to a proper folder. The folders are all messed up because it just kept adding more steps. But all right, so let's move on. A lot of these are going to be the same. So here, I'm going to the subreddit, Am I the Asshole? And I'm getting the top posts there because those just always suck me in when I go to read those. So we'll look at that. And that's just a really simple thing. And it's awesome that it's easy to change which subreddit you go to. You really just change right here. But I asked ChatGPT to just get this for me. And it all worked out. It just did it. And you'll see I ended up, doing the same thing over here when we get to the next one. Because this is the TIFU one. And it's the exact same process as this one. You've just got to change that one little line. So we get that and we save that story as a text file. And then we had to fix it just to make sure. I'm not totally sure this is totally necessary, but I wanted to just remove any weird characters that it would do, that it would read. So, and that would mess up the audio file. So I just wanted to get rid of those just to make sure. And then it does the same thing. It makes the speech out of it. See, this is where it needs to do some speeding up of the video because it's just got to chunk it out because these can be way longer. So you've got to also cut it down into, like, you might have to split a 3-minute clip into 3 60-second clips. So that's how we end up like changing the length and speeding up the video and stuff like that. Well, no, that's right. This speeding up the video is because we match it with, what do we match it with? We just match it with like Candy Crush footage or like Subway Surfer footage, all that viral stuff. So we have to speed up because that's just like a 5-minute video in itself. So that's what we're doing here is we're speeding up that 5-minute video to match however long the speech is. And then we just do the same thing. We add the audio. Now that the video is the proper length, we add the audio to the video. And then we do the change length thing. So what the change length thing really does is it gets the length of the video and it like makes it just better. So for example, if it's a 3-minute and 20-second video, you don't want to make 3 60-second videos and a 20-second video, or at least I didn't want to. So if it's like a 3-minute, 20-second video, it speeds it up to be a 3-minute video. That way, it can cut it up into 3 60-second videos. That's what the speed up vid 1 does, is it cuts it up like that. And then If it's like a 3 minute, 40-second video, like I'm okay with doing a 40-second video. So that will just keep it the same. And if it's under a minute, it'll also keep it the same. So that's just splitting it up how we need to just make it better for that. And you see, I also ended up doing it to where if it's too long, it just doesn't even do it. So it only runs through and finishes this process if it's not too long. And we do the exact same thing for the other subreddit. So what are we at now? We're at like 3 different video types. We're at just the Wikipedia ones. Now we've done from the subreddit. I guess that's 2 different video types because they were reading from subreddits. And then the next thing we do is the news. So the get headlines, that's like slightly different, but it's still just getting stuff from Reddit. But it's getting like the top certain number of posts. So I just made it kind of a small number. 6, the top 6 posts on the news subreddit. And it just saves that as a text file. So that we can do basically the same thing we did with everything else. So let's look at it again. Yeah, so we get the top posts. We fix it so we can read it better. And then, oh, this was an interesting thing I added later. So I get the pictures from this other website called Pexel that is just a free image website. So I just was like, ChatGPT, give me pictures from Pexel. And they just wrote this program to get pictures from Pexel based on a list of words. So I go through the headlines, get the list of words, and get the top picture for each word. And to be honest, it's not that great. But it's something. It's better than I think than just putting it to more Candy Crush videos. So I just go through the same process of resizing the pictures and converting them to JPEGs. I just realized last time I did that in a separate order. I wonder if that's part of what is making things a bit weird. Is it skipping some pictures? Or I bet I just don't need to convert them to JPEGs. Anyway, but see, I'm going through the same process. I'm making the speech. I'm making the video with the pics. I'm adding the audio. And I'm going through the same change length process. And then I end up doing the same thing with world news. So this gets me all of my different videos. That was something I just commented out. Now comes the part that took a long time. So I don't think this last bit I actually got from ChatGPT. I think I got this from somewhere online. I tried so hard it's uploading the videos to YouTube. So I end up not using the API, partially because I couldn't figure it out, and partially because I want to do more videos than the 6 videos that would limit me to. So here's what I ended up doing. Let's look at what it is. Upload with keys. And by keys, I mean the keyboard keys. So, I mean, it's doing all this stuff. I just copy and pasted this from somewhere online. I'm pretty sure. Excuse me. And so these are just all my cookies. I'm probably not supposed to show that, actually. So just log me into where I need to be logged into. And then we just go through. So what ended up happening with this like upload process is that it just didn't work the way it said it was supposed to. It gets me to a very specific place on the YouTube thing. But then it just stops. Then it just quits. So what I ended up doing was just typing in, making the program type in the keys that I needed it to hit. And so I got ChatGPT to like do this once, and then I just changed the formatting and made it to what I needed it to do. So you see, once you get to like, so if your cursor is in the description box on the YouTube upload interface, that's where this program leaves you off. And so then it hits all these keys. It hits tab the right number of times, and then it hits enter a few times. It has to hit shift tab, right, because that just gets you to there, but then you have to go backwards. So then you have to hit shift tab to go backwards instead of forwards. And because we're going to schedule these videos. That's what was also so difficult. So what we've done is we've got this date. So we're getting by getting the date, what it's doing to get the dates is that's actually back on the main. Let's actually go back to the main to look at that. So I think that's right here. I'm not even sure where it does it. So it's getting how many videos we've created. It's getting, and then it's getting how much time is left in the day after this program is run, since it starts at midnight. And it's dividing out that time by each video and creating a list, again, saving to a text file, of all the different times that we want to post these videos. So see, this is where it's saving it. So I guess this is where it's making it. And so then over here in the upload with keys thing, it's using that right here, or no, right here, to enter the time that we want to publish the video. So we're scheduling the video to upload at that specific time today, since it runs this every day. And then it hits it again, and then it hits enter, and then the video is published. And then this just removes the time from the text file and removes the video from the folder, because it just does this with the top video in the folder and the top time. And so then back on the main, we should see how we have it doing that for every single video. And then it prints how long it takes. And it takes like an hour and a half, sometimes up to 2 hours, to go through this entire process. But if I started at midnight and just run it at night, it's fine. And this program has been running for like the past week. If you can find the YouTube channel Made with Love, I'm sure there'll be a link down there in the description. That's just a YouTube channel that ChatGPT has created and runs all on its own. Now I say that, but ChatGPT is not actually involved in the program. ChatGPT just wrote the entire program. I compiled it, and now the YouTube channel just runs by itself.